Thank you very much for joining us on our special day. Before I introduce you to the two best men, Martin and Tony, I wanted to underline how magical this day has been for Alberto and me. Obviously it's taken some time for us to make the decision to get married, but what's made this day so special for us is that we're amongst all the people that matter to us today, apart from my mother and father, which is a shame, of course. But we've got video and photographs for them as well. Some of you have come great distances. So Juan and Miriam have come from Miami. Joel and Didier have come from Paris. Dieter and Thomas have come from Berlin. We've had people come from across the UK, from Bournemouth, from Cornwall, from and Grisha came down 2 flights of stairs.
Düsseldorf, Cologne, so Germany is very well represented.
So again, thank you very much. Very special for us to be able to share this occasion with all of you. I wanted to just say something about when I first met Alberto, which was 32 years ago in Miami. And people who know me well will know that I quite like house music. And when I first saw Alberto for the first time, it really caused my heart to skip a beat because he really stood out amongst everybody else. I thought, that is the man for me. It's taken 32 years to get to where we are today. I know people like Zsa Zsa Gabor might come up with suggestions about relationships, but it's wonderful that today, I'm very pleased to have Alberto as my husband. The best man. Martin is somebody Alberto and I have known for quite a number of years. We've rode thousands of miles across Europe on our Hondas. Joel and Didier at the back are also guys who we've met through the motorcycle club in Europe. We've had great time together. So Martin's a really good motorcyclist. He's also an incredible organiser for events for our group of friends in Landmark Trust Properties in England and in France. And he's organised the gay invasion of Lundy Island for us next year when we're going to be going there. The other thing that Martin is very good at as well is baking cakes. And every time we have an occasion, whether it's the Olympics or somebody becoming British or a birthday, I do with regularity. Martin always delivers and comes up with a theme cake, which is fantastic. Tony, best man number 2, I don't think can bake, and I'm not sure he can cook either. But he's like been gym buddy with me, so we share a personal trainer, and we're both quite competitive, and we push each other and force each other to lift weights and things, so it helps us keep in trim, which is good. And the other thing that I value about Tony is he's something called a club buddy. And he's one of these rare people who's prepared to stand for 3 hours in a queue outside a club in Berlin when it's raining, when it's cold, it's even been snowing. And even more important is once we get in the club, he's somebody like me who's prepared to stay there for 12 to 16 hours because of his strength, his stamina, his endurance.
That's what gym workouts are all about. Endurance clubbing. That's what we were not supposed to talk about clubbing, were we?
Oh, no. But
the C word wasn't going to be mentioned.
But usefully, he also knows when to say, Tony, I think we've had enough. So that's the time to leave because, as Alberto, my husband, knows, often when I'm in a club, I never want to leave. So, anyway,
That's why I have to retire.
cheese.
Thank you, Hector.
Cheese, Hector. Go.
I didn't. You're not smiling.
So I give you the best man.
Oh, excuse me, I have to refer to notes because I can never remember anything. I've totally forgotten what's in the speech anyway. So it's going to be as new to you as to me. It is said that marriage is an institution which should not be entered into lightly. Well, following the engagement of some 32 years, Tony and Alberta, of course, could very well be accused of taking that a little too extreme. For the majority of that time, it was not even a possibility. And who would have thought then, so very long ago, that how far things would change, that we'd be here to celebrate with them today. Long may this continue in these slightly troubled times that we live in. I would also like to welcome everyone here and say how honoured I was that they should ask myself, and also Tony, who's somewhat bizarrely acting as my straight man. What we're doing, the cake, the music, and the best man duties, they've really got their money's worth out of me. The cake, of course, was a challenge, but I wish they lived in a simple bungalow. Rather than a 45-storey tower. It was a fun project most of the time, and I now look forward to an end of sleepless nights. So, what can we say about the guys themselves? Well, maybe it's because they have hit upon a happy mixture of shared interests, together with those interests somewhat more divergent, that their relationship works so well. They are both devoted to their families, and it's indeed wonderful that so many of them are able to be here today, but of course as shown about Stan and Mo. Not here in person, but if they are watching on video, hi to them, and we wish them both all the best. Tony's and Alberto's shared interests include, in no particular order, ballet and contemporary dance, watching, not performing, thankfully, architecture, design and minimalism. Personally, I think the flat could do with a tad more furniture. Winter sports, there's a slight difference of opinion between snowboarders and skiers, but they gloss over that. Of course, motorbikes, and I cherish every moment that we spent driving up and down the length and breadth of Europe and the UK. Fantastic trips. And lastly, and by far the most important thing, their joint love of good coffee. They've both been loyal, supportive and generous friends to me, and I'm very happy to know them for so many years. Okay, now for them individually. I will start with Tony, as I met him first, and where else would that be on the other great love of his life, the dance floor, 16 years ago. We were surprised to learn that we have both owned exactly the same motorbike, even down to the colour, and we've been fast friends ever since. As we all know, he's dynamic, enthusiastic and above all fun. Always an early adopter of technology. I've lost count of all the Palms, Trios, Nokia, iPhones, helicopters, Apple Watches, hoverboards, drones and other gadgets. He's daring, such as the time while Alberto was away. He manoeuvred his motorbike from the garage into the lifts, up to the flat, just because he thought it would make a good photo.
Alberto had to be away for that.
There are also the wonderful comments that he comes out with from time to time. The best, probably Tom of Finland. He's from Sweden, wasn't he? Or what was the first iPhone? Was it the iPhone 4? Or the time on the weekend in Prague when he typically generously bought a round of drinks for everybody, went glamorously up to the barman and paid in useless Hungarian zlotys. Not bad for a banker. And now to Alberto. Like Tony, he is very generous and supportive to everyone, but very different in many, many ways. Al is hardworking and extremely conscientious. I know he enjoys and is enormously proud to be a godfather to Rosie. And shortly after we met, Al passed his motorcycle test, and it's been a pleasure to watch him become an accomplished motorbiker over these many years. I can also say he makes the most excellent and tidy house guest on all the landmark other weekends that we spend. And it has to be said that Al is also slightly more particular than Tony, and does things like to be absolutely right. Has anyone who's ever dined with him in a restaurant? Or been there with him in a coffee bar when, God forbid, an espresso should have to arrive with just not quite the right amount of skooma on top? Well, no. He has even been known to go behind the bar to show a hapless barista how to make the proper tea.
And then he wanted to charge me for it. No way.
As he has now had 32 years to try out Tony, one can only hope that he wouldn't, at least Tony will be one thing he will not be sending back to the kitchen. But they're both great guys and make a great couple indeed. And now, with all apologies to all Spanish speakers, I would just like to try and say a few more words, so here goes. Me gustaría decir unas palabras en español para darles una bienvenida muy especial a Juan y Miriam. Sé lo importante que la familia es para Tony y Alberto y cuánto significa para ellos que ustedes estén acá para compartir y celebrar su matrimonio. También es una oportunidad maravillosa para que todos los conozcan a ustedes dos y espero que disfruten mucho su viaje a Londres. And back to English. Well, that is all from me. I'd like to personally congratulate Tony and Alberto and to wish them all the best for their future life together. I'm now pleased to hand over to the second best man.
I've got the easy bit, but everybody needs a glass of wine. Or a glass.
Oh, glasses.
Unless,
Yeah.
I'll to do that.
Slightly.
Thank you, Hector.
Really cool.
I think we need to give them Slight gap in the proceedings there.
All right. Very short, but very sincere. Tony Alberto, two exceptional guys. Thank you for sharing this day with us, and I think I speak with everyone here. Wishing you at least 32 more years of happiness together as a married couple.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you. We're going to but it's also appropriate to wish everybody a wonderful Christmas and a fantastic 2017. Cheers.